another.
One word in.
Let's go.
Oh, we're keeping it.
No. Okay, maybe. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Stage Diving with Scotty. My special guest and returning guest for the third time. It is Protect Your Heart. Welcome back, guys.
Thanks
It was
for
good. It was good.
Well, just a heads up, everyone. I've been sick, so just have to bear with me. It's sounding kind of weird and stuff, but these guys they wanted to do this. I wanted to do this, so let's get to it.
Yo, big shout out for you working through the sickness.
What?
Big shout out for you working through the sickness. I know it's
Respect.
tons.
Real one.
We couldn't launch this record without talking to you first. Like, you were one of the first people we met in this space when we started doing podcasts and, connecting with others. So like, we always want to have you as part of the story. So like, the fact that this is our third time meeting is really cool.
It's really cool. I think you're the first third returning. Yeah, I think you're for 3 times. You guys are the first.
Do you get a jacket like on SNL when you host 5 times, or is it a bathrobe?
Yeah.
If I ever do stage diving with Scotty merch, you'll get
satin bathrobes.
Let's do a collab merch.
Collab bathrobes.
That'd be really
bathrobes.
Really purple bathrobes. I like it.
I'm into that.
Yeah, so you guys will be into it. Speaking of, actually, I don't know if I should say this to the end or whatnot, but please tell me merch is coming soon.
We were just talking about it before we hopped on this
talked
call. Yeah.
Yeah?
We're just like so precise with what we want to do, and we're very stickler with what we want to release. So when we start releasing stuff, we just want to do it the right way.
I haven't noticed at all.
Most people, it's just like, just release anything into the ether and hopefully it sells. Whereas like, we definitely like the precision of it. So, but it seems like it's gonna be pretty soon.
Yeah.
Right, boys?
Who's in charge?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell us.
Yeah, we're trying to find that answer.
I feel like Keen was, but then I'm not sure because
I did my part. I did the deck. I got it ready to go. The ball's in someone else's court now.
Oh, is it Ant's job now?
Oh,
I mean, it's partly yes, but I just had a son, so living and dealing with that.
Casually throw that in.
I didn't know that. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How old?
2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, you're just getting the beginning there. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Ollie.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah. He's badass. But we got to make merch for him. We got to get it for you, for your son.
Yes.
We got to get it for everybody.
Yes.
But yeah, we have some good people that do a lot of really dope stuff, and hopefully very, 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 very soon.
Now, wasn't I can't remember, Keen, if you put it on our little group thing or if you put it online of like sort of like these really quick collage of like designs for the merch. Was that online or was that through the group?
It may have been both. Probably on our.
Daddy's wearing one right now, a mock-up. So that's like.
Oh yeah, that was in the video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't think of.
Every
time we shoot a video, Jake shows up with like 6 shirts for everyone.
Nice.
It's
what most of my closet has, because we've done enough videos to where
we've been at this for long enough now where like I've just, as we've kind of gone through the Protect Your Heart process, I've just kind of made stuff along the way just to see like what these guys like and what could be like a viable like merch line and whatever. So I have a hard drive of probably 50 to 70 t-shirt designs and we've all like gone through all of it and been like, okay, these are the ones we want to start with and like all that stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that you probably saw that we will never be allowed to print because licensing
like
reasons.
Intellectual property. Yeah.
but I have fun, taking like the LA Kings logo and turning it into a Protect Your Heart logo and stuff like that. So
there you go. Yeah, see that stuff. Yeah, that stuff's kind of fun with.
I don't want like the major sports leagues coming after us. So,
but maybe if you show up to a show, you could maybe buy one. Maybe I'm not saying you can or you can't. But,
neither confirm nor deny.
You're like, it's a very limited quantity, guys. Get it quick, put it away.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, guys, can I bug you real quick before we get into the songs? How did that gig go? It looked really cool from the little bit of video I saw and some of the pictures. It looked like just a great time and it was your first time playing together, right? Live. How did
It
so?
was
How did
awesome.
it go? How was each of your experience with that?
It was sick. It was a lot of fun. I don't think we could have really asked for a better first show. And
No way.
also shout out to, I think his name was Tony, the sound guy.
Yeah, he was legit.
A plus, A plus.
Yeah.
That room
Yeah,
sounded great. He
I
had it
think-
rocking.
I don't think it could have gone better for a V1. And you know, like we kind of got lucky where we played first, and so people were kind of just hanging out and waiting and didn't have time to leave at that point because they just got there. So we kind of, you know, had everyone in the audience, which was nice.
Nice. Very cool.
I had a sprained ankle during it though, which kind of
Oh, yeah.
sucked.
Yeah, he wore
Yeah.
a boot, which was great.
Oh,
I had to
see,
wear,
didn't
yeah, I had
see
to wear a
that.
boot.
Really?
Because like, yeah, like a couple weeks before, me and Maddie went to a show, and I was in the mosh pit, and my ankle got kind of, yeah. One guy's
How
leg
old
went
are
this
you,
way,
Jake?
another guy's went this way. I'm 32, so I can't keep doing that anymore.
You know, I'm stealing your ass for another mosh pit, and like as soon as you can walk again, it's happening.
Blink 182.
Well, back to normal now, yeah. But I'm like, maybe I shouldn't get in the mosh pit anymore.
Nah,
In 8 months,
Nah.
Jake will be okay.
Oh, you guys
okay,
are
you're
going?
okay today. You're gonna go in the next mosh pit I can steal you in to pick you up and drag you.
Yeah, we
I
had a
want
really
to-
good experience just with everyone that we played with too. Like we had never
Really?
met Sink In before, and they're very like gracious to us and were really nice to us and didn't really have to be. And good terms. I had met some of those guys once before for their first show here in LA. So it was just cool to like get to play with those guys who are LA locals, and then meet the sinking guys, and like we all kind of talk shop a little bit, and it was just yeah, it was a good first experience, and having a sound guy that cared about what it sounded like in there, I think made our experience that much better.
It makes
Cold
a
Weather
huge
Kids was
difference.
also on the bill, and they were super dope guys. Like honestly, every band was just filled with just really good dudes and like really good music. Love up every band, and they were just fun to just hang out and just like everyone was like family. It was really cool.
It's
Really good.
it's a rarity when you kind of find that kind of connection and just good all around guys, you know. And I think
Yeah.
I follow Sinkin as well. And if I remember correctly, I feel like they were ones that had some car problems like not too long ago, some serious car
Yeah,
problems.
so we got put on that show basically because so Sink In was originally like direct support or something for another band. The other band basically flat out canceled the tour, and Sink In basically just
that's right.
decided to reach out to all the venues and be like, hey, can we still come play this date? And then on our particular date, I think they had another band drop out that was going to be like in our slot. And the Good Terms guys basically texted me and said, hey, do you guys want to play a show? And it just so happened that we had scheduled a rehearsal the day before, like months in advance, just to do one, just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, like if we're going to find out
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah.
if we can actually play the show. So
Well, it is, our very first time rehearsing was literally the day before. So we did like a 12-hour rehearsal and just powered
Oh
through.
crap.
Dude, you want to talk about hurt after a full 12 hours of playing and running around. We rented out SIR here in LA, which is it's like a proper like
It's
place
massive.
you go and
Yeah.
huge bands will go and
Sunset,
practice there
too,
and
yeah.
like work on everything and figure out their live show. And like we rolled up, as us, and we left there after 12 hours just exhausted, and then to go the next day and play that whole weekend just kicked the shit out of us.
Jake was staying on my couch for a couple days in a boot, like could barely move around. He brought his entire guitar collection into my tiny apartment, and we had to like find places for all of it.
I lost one in that. Like
He-
Jake's just leaving his guitars everywhere else in California.
Yeah, it's like Goldilocks.
I think I have one or two here. The rest
I
of
have
it's spread out.
17 in this room right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a
My
while.
parents were here. My parents were here a couple days ago. My dad goes, "You got a lot of fucking guitars in here." I go, yeah, I know. They're not all mine. Don't worry.
It was wild, like feeling like by the time we had our first show, stepping on stage, it was like we had just finished like a month tour with no breaks. Like that's how tired we were from
Yeah.
our rehearsal the day before with no sleep. And dude, glad we're not doing that for our next few shows, but like it was nice to kind of push us through the ringer and get our chops back, because most of us hadn't played in a band setting live in a while.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
It was my first time ever playing a guitar on stage. So
Yeah.
that was
Really?
yeah.
Oh wow, man. So that'd have been exhilarating and nerve-wracking.
It was
Now he's
it was
official.
It was nerve-wracking. Jake was quite harsh on me during rehearsal the day before. So I was just I was trying to lock it up as best I could.
He did lock it up. Yeah.
You played excellent. You were great.
He's like, you better play those chugs right, man. I'm telling you.
Dude, that's it. Yeah.
That was exactly it. Yeah, the breakdown parts.
Oh, that's great. Oh man, it was one of those moments too. It's like if I had the money and I had the time, I totally would have flown down and gone to see that first show, guys. Because that was exciting to hear that you even had it, and then to see it and know it went well was very,
And
very cool.
if you ever fly down to a show, you do that whole trek, you take all that time off work and make all that effort, we'll give you a free sticker.
You guys are
Got
so
you.
generous, man. Thank you.
Daddy's rolling out the red carpet.
Yep, white glove service, baby.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely. No, we'll give you 2 stickers.
Yep.
all
You can
good.
even
One-
use
one-
One
what
for
you
the
do.
way here and one for the way back.
Yeah.
There you go.
You just have to put it on the side of the plane.
Oh yeah.
Bumper
No,
sticker.
what would they do? Like every time I get on an airplane, I always kind of touch the thing, and I don't know when it started, but like, what if I did that and just sticker slapped it?
You'd be a terrorist.
Yeah,
You're probably right.
I think
No
you'd be
fun.
Go
on,
around and find out if you want to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, right.
I think you'd be on a one-way flight to Guantanamo.
We're redirecting our
I'm not
flight
doing
over.
it. The wheels are spinning and they're not looking. Things aren't looking good. All signs point to prison.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody involved. in
Love
that.
you, Scotty. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You
I
can
gotta do it to make you
give me
laugh.
crap. No, you can totally give me crap.
Want it to hurt, baby.
Well, it is. It's like.
Yeah. Dude, we owe you much more than a sticker pack. We owe you like a nice steak dinner if you eat steak with your favorite red wine.
Hey,
Maybe
don't-
like a real
okay.
date.
Okay,
No
now don't
steak.
tempt me now. I mean, come on. You already have me.
Well, for
We'd
the
love to
fact
play
that you're-
NorCal, because
Yeah,
you're Sacramento based,
Yeah.
right? Or around, yeah.
I was
That'd be
still,
super cool to play around the area.
Yeah, like
we-
you had mentioned that there might be show opportunities.
It was, I was trying to get something going over here, and it just bands weren't set. Because Sterling, the guys from Sterling are coming down. They're coming, and really want to try and do some shows while they're down here. So I'm going to hang out with them for a little bit, and I was going to play too. I was going to practice some of my acoustic stuff and possibly open up, but then just some
yeah.
other bands just weren't going through, and it's just like, forget it. It's just not going to happen. And
I
I just
was-
feel
It's a
bad
tough
'cause
time right
they're
now,
taking
man.
the time and the money to come down here, and I just feel bad. So
Yeah.
I think they're still trying to make it happen, but for a different show. But yeah. So, anyways, but I would love, because I was thinking I think I mentioned on our group chat was yeah, it'd be cool to have you guys there, have like Light the Way play, Nate Parrish play. I think it'd be such a great
It's
time.
been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Plus,
it's been a lot
like,
of
I
fun.
just want to be able to see those guys perform and you perform, because fans of everyone and just great homies that I just want to be there anyways, even if I'm not performing, just
Yeah,
to support.
yeah.
Like, that's the kind of show I want to go to.
Yeah.
I hope at some point in the near future it happens.
Yeah, you guys need to come up this way.
Hey, I
Yeah,
played
that'd be
so many
great.
gigs up north, so I'm originally from the Bay Area, so it'd be super sick
That's
for
right,
for
that's right.
Protect Your Heart to make it up that way.
Do you guys have any gigs lined up before the end of the year?
We
We
have
got
two.
our
Yeah, we got
album
2.
release show in Santa Ana on November 13th, right? And then we have December 11th in Corona.
Oh wow, man, you guys are all around my old stomping grounds. That's awesome. Do you know what places are they?
Stages.
know?
is
Stages is the first one, November. The second one, I forget, but it's in Corona. We're basically trying to get our reps in, and just trying to
Yeah.
be like, because we've only played one show. We'd love to play way more, maybe do a tour eventually. So it's like time to get the reps in, I feel.
Yeah, no, yeah. Get those nerves out of Keen there. He needs to get you know, get the normality of it.
Yeah.
Get the chugs better. Get them more.
You know, you know how I can get.
Tighter.
The one in December in Corona is at Rockefeller's. I
Oh,
haven't
okay,
been there,
yeah.
but I've heard of it. I heard it's pretty rad.
'Cause I'm fireproof. I'm not going down, and I won't be moved. I'm not going down, 'cause I'm fireproof. Baby, I've got nothing to lose. Yeah, I'm fireproof, and I'm not going down.
So, okay, is Protect Your Heart just the name of the album, right? It's just self-titled, correct?
It's called Reintroduction.
Reintroduction. I'm so sorry. Don't I feel like a
No
dummy? Reintroduction. Gotcha. Okay. So why reintroduction?
It was originally just an idea of like kind of coming full circle for all of us, where we started out making and playing music like this. That's what got us into music.
Yeah.
And we all took a bit of a detour that lasted, you know, quite a long time. And it's kind of our like, hey, hi, hello, we're back making the music that we started making with hopefully a little better songwriting and production expertise. And, you know, it's kind of, it's separated and styled in the way that it is because it's a reintroduction for us into the scene personally, but it's, you know, if you remove that part of it that's in the brackets, it's an introduction of our band to, you know, the world, to the scene, all that kind of stuff. So that was the original idea.
Okay. Okay. And
I think it was
and
in,
were you the one that was actually you do the mixing and the mastering?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, it's solid. It really is solid because I'm blasting it in my van. I'm going, holy crap! I could hear an ant fart if there was an ant fart in one of your songs. It was so like crisp and just loud and just distinct, you know. And
Awesome.
I'm just learning this kind of stuff from Aaron because Aaron's showing me like how to mix and when I record like what to do. And so I'm kind of training my ear and just listening. That was just so like, oh my gosh, you can hear every single thing on this and it just sounds so good. And Maddie, your
you.
voice, man, I don't even understand. I don't understand your voice being so good. And okay, so I'm gonna just throw in the love on you. I know, but I have to say, my favorite song. Well, my favorite number is number 7. Number 7 is "Close to You," and that's my
Yeah.
favorite song. And not because it's number 7, but my favorite song is "Close to You." I love that song. That song is so good. And every song, and I honestly can say this, every song on here could be an absolute radio hit. You know, it's just, that's how all of them are to me. That's how I was like, okay, this could be on that. This one could be on that. Every single song was like that. So
That makes me so happy to hear. Like, yeah, Close to You, what a song, man. Like that one, we've had a couple responses from those I've sent it out to, and they highlight that as one of their faves. And that, like, we during the mixing, when Ant was just pumping out just these, as you said, distinct but like just massive sounding mixes, it finally brought that song. Like, it already been in my mind, you know, in one of my favorite tracks from the writing stage, but I think that kind of brought it to life because it made it so huge.
yeah.
And we always talk about, like, at the end of the bridge, like in the bridge to the end of the song is like where the magic really takes place.
Yeah.
Because that last chorus comes in, and that thing, Ant just found a way to make that thing pump higher than he just made it crescendo really well. So like, hats off to Ant, whatever you did, it's killing it. Like, got to give you the credit, man.
He had
I
to
just
fight
sat
the
here
good
for long
fight.
enough.
Yeah.
Which
He
is
layered
like
all of his farts on it, and it just, like, you know, put one in every snare.
tons of gas.
I said you had to fight the good fight because Scotty, if you see that session ever,
God, yeah.
it's literally just a riff salad. I think when it was being written, we had just maybe got some new tones in the repertoire. And so basically like every 4 or 8 bars is a new guitar or a new guitar
really?
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole
That one-
song is that way. And so yeah, getting it to blend in the,
You know-
in the final version was
Now that I think about it,
It's great.
that might be the only song that I can think off the top of my head that was worked on at my house, Jake's house up in Dublin, and then also Ant's place down in LA, that like multiple, like, because Jay came
It's
to my place in Fresno and we worked on that song specifically for a weekend. And
well,
we also
it actually started on
Even
my
more
couch.
places. Yeah.
On my couch to Kings Road, and then from there I think it went to downtown LA, then it went up to Dublin, then it went to your house, and then it landed ultimately at Ann's house.
So that's the only song on the record that was written
Wow.
in 6 places. And each of those places was not like a solo man mission. It was like we met up there specifically to make progress.
And you
So, yeah,
wonder why when I was prepping it, I literally was just like having a nervous breakdown going, how am I going to make this sound cohesive? How, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It was crazy. I think I want to say
you
that
guys want to trash the song?
there was 180 or 190 tracks in it, something like
Yeah.
that in that song, which is crazy. It's insane. But you know, it's just that one definitely was one of those like daunting in the back of your mind, like I got to do this. I just got to sit down and do it, and then I'll get through it.
Yeah.
Just take it slow.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like
I love that one, and I remember when it clicked too, because I was just sitting here and I was blasting it. And I was like, "Damn, this sounds really good," and I was super hyped on it because that's one of my favorite songs.
Me too. And that song, funny enough, was actually supposed to end at the bridge. Like the original structure was to end at the bridge, and so that last chorus was never there. And it wasn't until we went up to Jake's for just a writing weekend that we were like, let's add this, and it made it great. Like it
also never started. It never originally started with just vocals. It was a riff that is only in one part of the song now. And the whole, it's gone, like it's done many iterations and many angles and shapes and all that stuff. It's not, if I guarantee if we went back and listened to the original demo, we probably wouldn't recognize it.
But you know, I love when that happens. I love when that kind of thing happens. Well, even it's funny that you said that about the bridge, though, is even if the bridge just ended, it would have been like beautiful and a great way to end. But the fact that you came in and had that good like drive at the end was very like, okay, that's the way you go. That's the way this should go. And it was powerful in my opinion. So
when you add that like extra couple beats of just empty space, it makes that last chorus come in just bigger than ever. And I love when you allow that like small amount of tension to build, because then you're just aching for that last chorus to come and really and like finally make sense. And I'm glad we were able to make that happen, because that song, when I first heard it, I loved it. But I think that it took all the right changes to make it.
It also almost got the chop at a certain point. So
it was close.
But why? Why is that?
I don't know.
Because it was too much.
Well, the whole process was like, I'm really glad the album's done. We're finally releasing it because we've been working on it for so long, and we had to go through the pandemic, which made it even more difficult. So there was like one point where we were having a discussion of like, can we get this out quicker? What do we need to chop? We actually chopped. There's like 2 songs we never finished completely that were supposed to be on. But we wanted it out because, you know, we all want to move forward, write new music, do shows, and focus on new ventures instead of this album, which we're all really proud of. But, you know, it's like, if you're going to work on that indefinitely, it becomes kind of a headache.
Yes.
Which most musicians can
understand. Yes.
I knew that like the 2 songs that we chopped were songs that they had promise, but I felt like there's some kinks we just didn't have the time to work out. And if we tried to work them out, maybe in their best shape, they might still pale in comparison to what we write after this record. So we really just wanted to.
They will.
Yeah, they will, because we've already written almost a full record of ideas since that we're gonna start working on after this album comes out. So
and I think stylistically, those 2 songs may not have meshed super well with the track listing anyway. So I think that's kind of the decision we all kind of came to, and we're like, well, if that's going to hinder us from getting this thing done and moving on to the next iteration of whatever we decide to do, like, let's get it done. And if everyone's okay with chopping a couple, then fine. Like, it's not like we chopped off like lead singles. We chopped off like what we felt were in our world filler. Like they could, if we focused solely on those songs and treated them as singles at a later point in time, then I think we could get them there. But in their current iteration, they just didn't feel like up to the standard of everything else.
Maybe we have a deluxe version one day. Who knows?
Nate, you never know, right?
For the 30-year anniversary of it.
Oh crap.
We'll be like Mick Mars.
Yeah.
Our
Trying to
fifth
play.
farewell tour.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I think the ones that's okay. So the 3 songs that weren't released, because you released 9 songs with 9 videos, visualizers, and then some actual music videos. I don't even understand how much it just, to me, like the time and effort you guys have put into this, like each song, the videos, it's just been so much to see. Like, you guys have some genuine quality stuff. It's like really top-notch stuff. And the music videos are great. The visualizers are super cool. I mean, I almost want to go like, are you guys going to do 3 more to kind of just do the whole album?
Yes, once it's out, yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do 3?
probably.
Do
Yeah.
the last
4 more
3?
actually.
I mean, like Ant and I work in video production. I do, all the design work and stuff. Like we have the knowledge and the skills to be able to do these things. So if it's one of those things where we can do them, and we have ideas for them, like, why the hell not?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it just makes sense.
Well, and it's cool stuff. It really is just fun. You got your fun videos. You got your like just mesmerizing, like, eye candy videos. And I don't know. I think it's fantastic. And to be like, I would love to see a video for Close to You. I mean, to be honest.
We could
But,
probably work something out. That one needs like a director's treatment though. That one doesn't need to be us jamming in a
singing,
loft.
yeah,
It needs to be-
like a little story, a little,
yeah, it needs to be a
almost
little
cinematic.
narrative, I think. But
Yeah.
like, that the lyrics to that song, I don't want to speak for Matt, but I know are like, very personal, and what's there at the surface level is, from my understanding, not even a sliver of what it actually is about. So it does. I would feel like that one in particular would need something special for
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely. I could see that. Fall Apart was really. I mean, the 3 that weren't released yet, like Fall Apart and Sorry. I mean, all 3 of those songs are really great. Again, it was just kind of like nice to see a little bit of difference in some of them. Still doing the chugs, doing the breakdowns. Maddie screaming. It just. By the way, your scream, I don't even understand how that comes out of you. I really don't understand. I know in our little group chat, it was like, Matt, were you screaming? It's like, yeah, and it's like, what? Just your singing voice and your growl is just insane. So
It's a good story if you want to
Yeah.
chat about it a little bit.
Well, that's crazy is like, so right when I had finished kind of the final like background vocals, and I went up to Jake's to work on the string section for Sorry for the choruses. And while we did that, we're like, well, we have 2 days of extra time. Let's just write more music. And so we have some stuff that after this record's done, we have, something to start us off with. But we were like, well, we already have like 8 or 9 songs that are in the pipeline for the next album or the next batch of singles that are very strong and very kind of like, if you call this the 1.0, it's like the 1.5, it shows some growth, but still feels very similar in a way.
yeah.
But we're like, well, let's just go straight metal. Like, let's bring a ton of metal in, because we love metal. All of us do. And we just want to see how far we can stretch it.
And Jake was like,
so let's,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And we're like, so let's turn like each of these metal songs, like, let's do like way more screaming. Like, if we can make like half the song screaming, half of it singing, maybe we can bring out some more dynamics and see how like wide we can take this. And so like in that, we're experimenting with more like deeper screams, some higher screams, some like mid-rangey, like kind of bringing up multiple flavors instead of just being a one style of
Yeah.
scream. And it's been really fun for me to explore that, because prior to like last year, I didn't know how. I had never done it before. I had done it like in small doses when I was like first starting out in music, but didn't really understand like the like anatomy behind it, and how
Yeah,
to do it
yeah.
consistently. But then I had one session with one of Jake's buddies. His name is David.
David Wu. Shout
He's
out David
awesome.
Wu, Riff Shop
He has
on
a
YouTube.
Riff Shop. He has a Scream Academy, and he did like a 1 hour
I'll have to
session with
check
me.
it
And
out.
None of it made sense at first. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was like, well, we need the song Too Young to Die Alone had a scream part in it that I wanted to put in, but I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I have like a couple of months to figure this out before I have to go record that. So like, let's meet with David. Let's see if he can, take me over the edge. And none of it made sense, and I couldn't get it on the first try, but he said one piece of advice that really stuck with me, and that is, and anatomically speaking, imagine your vocal cords, know what it feels like to push them and keep them together while still pushing air through it. And then you can start from there to vary it and like find your voice. But it took me after that, I kind of just set it on the shelf and was like, well, I'll revisit this in a few weeks. And then like one day it just naturally clicked. And I was like, okay, now I know how. But
whatever.
Now he's a beast. Now he's
whatever.
Like seriously, it was weird. It just one day I felt the sensation of like slamming your vocal cords together and pushing air through. And it was at that moment I'm like, oh, now I can do it anytime, all the time. But until then, I couldn't get it consistently. But that piece of advice changed everything for me.
Oh,
whatever. I mean,
he adds it to our live set now too at certain parts that like fit pretty well.
Yeah, like anything that's
scream
heavy
things.
that didn't have a scream in it, I'm like, just throw it in.
go for it. Yeah, heck yeah.
I want to scream all the time because it's too much fun. Like especially in a live setting when you just need to let out, the demons. A little bit. And there we go.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched like Chris Lipe and all these other people who do voice stuff and talk about how to scream and vocal fry and stuff, and I don't get it. Like so for my birthday, my wife was like, okay, I know you want to do a vocal coach, we'll find a vocal coach for you. But even like with that, I'm just like, is that going to help though? I don't know. Like I don't know if I just need someone in person to kind of like touch and like, this is what it is, and I don't know if they need to choke me or what. See, you can't bring it, right? That's where
if you're gonna have them choke you, you got to get someone to film it and make it official.
You gotta make content out of it.
Yeah,
that's Scotty Short.
Yeah,
a real short. Scotty's dead.
I think it's like I'm probably cool, a little different because like I grew up a basketball player, and so I'm just used to like figuring out how to coordinate different movements and just like reverse engineer what I want it to look like, and then kind of figure out what that feels like from an athletic standpoint. So I kind of took the same approach with vocals, that I've never really had a lesson, but I listen to things, then I reverse engineer what it's going to take to sound that way. And then I just break it down to its smallest point, and then eventually it just one day will click. But I'm not the type that responds well to like ongoing vocal instruction, because I'm just like, okay, cool. Give me like a little thing to think about.
Yeah.
And then I'll listen to all the music I naturally do. I'll do some recording sessions and I'll test it all out. And then I'll start to see where like how I expand stamina or expand my range or just tone. Yeah. Really it's tone within the range. But yeah, I guess that's like my MO to it, which probably wouldn't work if I hadn't done basketball first.
So interesting.
Or some sort of sports.
Yeah.
Expect more screams on the new stuff.
What was that?
Expect more screams on the new stuff. Hopefully, cool. Everyone has to sign off on it, but
yeah, they'll have to sign off. But at least of all the demos we have, everyone's heard like a batch of like 10, and we're all stoked on the 10. So I think we're in a great place where we're like stretching our boundaries enough to like be really fresh with like bringing some metal into this current sound. But then we still have a few songs that are very much in this similar sound, just better or a little bit different. So it's Kian and Jake have been pumping out some really cool jams.
So you guys, with this album stuff, you guys kind of like taking a break with like practicing, or are you guys still like kind of keeping it going because you're going to have to do a couple more shows or do some shows before or after the release of the album?
We have a few rehearsals.
Yeah, we got a rehearsal next weekend, I think.
Yeah.
We took a pretty big break just because everyone was going through like kind of adult stuff. Like I just moved and had a kid. Kian moved. Matt is like doing really well in his career. So we kind of, and the album was getting finished. But now that finally it's out and everyone's kind of like settling into, this new phase, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier to get more rehearsals, more writing sessions. And also Kian's gotten way better as a guitar player, which is fun because now he could do like more difficult stuff on guitar. So expect like, some more noodle
like tapping and
maybe not tapping. No,
like power chords only.
We're not trying to go like Polyphia or like,
They're bringing out the 28 string.
Yeah.
but like more complex rhythms and more like alternate picking and more, something like, because I feel like just still a lot of bands who do pop punk haven't tapped into the metal sound that well yet. I feel like there's so much ground to explore still, and with Kian getting better guitar, like
Well, I think even as you as a band, like what you were saying, Maddie, like you guys just throw in some metal now and kind of just you have your sound, and to kind of grow with it, keep your sound, but kind of expand the little bit of the metal genre and whatnot inside your punk stuff. I mean, the first band, of course, I think of is like Day to Remember, that kind of thing, but that's a little more extreme. But I think with you guys, I think it'd be fun to see where you go from where you are now. And when this album releases and people hear it and get your sound, it'll be fun to see then when you guys release the next single after that, whatever, to people go, oh yeah, look at them.
I think there'll be a couple probably in short order after this that feel still like us, just because we have a very specific way of producing things, and Ant has a very specific way of how he makes things sound. And I think the combination of the specificities of everyone kind of is what the sound is. And so now that I'm a little more comfortable with certain things, I think we'll start to lean like a little more heavily on what Jake was saying about like more complicated rhythms and just like different stuff like that. But like, we're joking through the whole process too of like, there's not really a single clean tone on our album. Like it's all, even our clean tones are high gain tones. So like, exploring even in that direction, I think like if we're able to kind of get all those things into one place, we also still have demos that I am stoked on. I know Matt's stoked on, that sound like Protect Your Heart through and through, like, and we could easily just like drop in some vocals and be like, here's the next one, like it's there's a lot of stuff like that. So it's cool because we have this new kind of path, I think, that we're all itching to take, but that doesn't mean that like we also don't have the stuff that people like us for, so it'll be interesting to do both and be able to do both.
Cause every time you cross my mind, I close my eyes and press rewind. We've all got doubts, but I can't try to put my heart out on the line. Cause we've all got secrets we can't let go. If I share my weakness, don't let go.
Well, then we have to start now so that people don't have a very strict expectation of what you come out with, because then as soon as you deviate, then they get angry. So you don't allow them to get an expectation.
Exactly.
You like have them expect that it will sound different.
I mean, that's kind of why we chose the singles and released the singles in the order that we did too. Like every time the thought process was every time you think it's going to be another like 4-chord fast-paced pop punk song, like, oh, let's throw Fireproof out there. Okay, you think there's going to be a bunch of screaming and metal stuff, let's throw the EDM thing out there. Oh, you think that's what we're doing, let's throw Too Young to Die Alone out there, which is like really I think the sound that we're most interested in chasing and like evolving. But that was, we had all this time to work on this record, that the goal was to not let anything sound like two of the same thing. And I think just by nature of the production of it, it all sounds cohesive. But if you really listen track by track, it really shouldn't be like, oh, this is your standard, 2000s pop punk stuff, because we didn't want to do that anyway.
Yeah, we've like cut our teeth on the sound. I feel like we've done a good job with like getting our sound, and moving forward will be really fun. Ant just got a bunch of cool new Kemper tones that we haven't really tried out yet, which is going to be super fun.
Hey, look at the smile on his face.
Yeah.
He's the tone zone.
I'm ready.
Tone zone. So then through with the 12 songs, I know we were talking about Close to You was one of your favorite songs on there, like at least Maddie and Ant. What other songs do you feel like stand out to you as far as whether it be the chorus or just the way it came together, or like what are some of like ones that stood out to you out of the 12?
There's 13. Are you missing one?
Am I wrong?
Yeah. We have
Did
Take
you hear?
Control.
Yeah, did you hear Take Control? Did you hear that one?
Did I not write that down? Oh shoot. Oh, you're right. I didn't write that one down. Freaking crap. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
No
No worries.
worries.
I
Hey,
thought
you
it
have
was
more to-
12
more to listen
songs. I'm so, oh, well, the question still stands, even though I'm wrong and feel like an idiot.
You're all good, man.
I mean, I think they all have, each song definitely has an individual story, and we all probably could tell different stories about the same song from different points and have different memories about the first time working on it to the last time working on it.
We should each pick one song and go like in it and just share like a little something, like just one song. And if
There you
someone
go.
chooses it, you choose a different one. And that way we talk about 4 separate songs. I want to hear like, 'cause some of the
That's good.
songs, I don't even know your guys' journey on them. So that could be fun for me to listen to.
For me, it'd probably be Too Young to Die Alone. I love that style the most. And then if I was gonna like kind of connect one to it, Take Control, which is like a part of the 4 that's releasing on the album that haven't been heard yet. But just that style where we're doing drop B with like gent tones and like
Yeah.
as heavy as we can with like really cool like poppy vocals. And then we added that scream to Too Young to Die Alone like later in the process. But just I love that style, and I just love I love breakdowns, you know. I always will, always have, and just continuing to like push on that would be really fun.
I want breakdowns and everything. Great, even an acoustic ballad. I'm just kidding. But,
that'd be interesting.
Like the funny thing about Too Young to Die Alone is like it was like the second song, like the first song I heard from the band when I talked to Kian. We had like a 2-hour conversation before we met, and he was like, I want to send you a song, you know, let us know what you think. And then, you know, if you enjoy the sound, let's keep going. So he sent me Last to Love You. And I was really into it. I'm like, oh, these guys know everything. I'm fitting right in with great songwriters, and like really excited that I'm all in. I'm just off that one song. But then I think that the first like instrumental that I heard that was after that was Too Young to Die Alone. And when I first heard it, I was like, this is the coolest instrumental I've heard in a long time. Like, and it actually became one of the last songs I finished vocals to, because I had built it up so high in my mind that I was like, do not fail at this song, because I love this song and I cannot write a shitty song over it. So like, take your time. It took me like a year to where like, I just put it off because I'm like, I'm not ready. I want to wait until like I feel sparked up. And one day I finally figured it out. But, and I'm happy that it took the shape that it did, because that song is definitely in my short list of favorites. But it's kind of cool. Like, that song was one of the like puzzle pieces that solidified me really wanting to join the band. Like obviously the main puzzle piece was that they're just great dudes. They work hard. Everyone knows their exact like skill set and role, and they all complement each other really well. So I knew the dynamic was good, and the work ethic was good. So that was really attractive. But that song like was like, okay, these guys are versatile. They can write several different sounds, mash it up in one song, and have it be a really unique sounding song. So like, yeah, don't screw it up, Matt.
There's a fun fact about Too Young to Die Alone and Take Control, and it's that both of those intro riffs came out of the same project when Jake was showing me drop stuff for the first time. He was literally like, this is drop, this is what you do, noodle away. And I think you like went to the kitchen to get like a beer or something. It was downtown. And then I like just started doing the open note stuff. And then you heard something and you came in and were like, wait, that's kind of cool. And then we fleshed out like the whole thing. But those 2 songs originally were like a 4-minute long, just riff salad of trying to figure out me trying to learn how to play in drop B.
Drop tuning. Yeah. In like 2019,
yeah,
which was really fun, because it's like drop tuning. So, you know, it's like, kind of, I mean, Avenged Sevenfold did it in like 2006 or something. So it's cool.
Well, I always remembered hearing about like drop D and stuff, but I wasn't a guitar player, so I didn't care. Like it made no difference to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool, play in whatever you want. It's not my thing. But then like coming back to it, you know, now, it was just really funny, because all of those, I'm sure if we go back and open up that first file, it's like riffage 44, and there's like a string of audio this long that's all just like sloppy open note playing.
I love that though, because you it's funny because some people, I was thinking this the other day, because no, I think take it back. I was listening to your album, and yeah, when I think it was that song, and I was like, that's really low. And I'm going, does anybody play an E anymore? Just standard E.
We got a couple.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
we
just
got
thought it
some
was funny. I'm
standard.
like, yeah, everything's so low nowadays. Even us, like Aaron and I go to like C, maybe C sharp at the highest, but I don't think we're going to go any lower than that because I don't think my guitar could handle it. But it's like, yeah, B. It's like, holy crap, man! And
Yeah,
it sounds
Jake's trying to go to
so
like drop
cool.
A and stuff.
A flat.
We have to rein him in.
Go
My
G sharp,
growl's
baby.
gonna have to go really low.
You even have a bass
It's
that's
crazy.
low like that.
Five string.
You guys have a 5-string?
Yeah.
Oh, why am I asking? I'm sorry. There's 17 guitars.
Does
in
I
this.
don't know
I
if I
do,
really
yeah.
want a 5-string. Actually learned to play bass on a 5-string, but
Nice.
I like 4. 4 is fine.
Learn to play
fine.
a 10-string bass. It's like if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah.
Ant didn't answer though. Ant, what?
I didn't answer. What honestly, I think, man, I've got a lot of attachment to all of them for so many different reasons. Never Gonna Leave You always sticks out to me just because of what we went through with getting the video done, getting the song released. I remember just hearing Matt's just reference over the track and just being like, holy crap, and like playing it while making dinner. And my buddy was in the kitchen. He's like, yo, that's a hit. He's not even saying anything. He's like, that's a hit record. He's like, you need to do more of this.
Yeah.
And so that one definitely, that one I really like. And that one came to a lot later than all the other ones. Best of Me definitely sticks out just because I remember when I first heard a lot of the stuff that Jake and Kian wrote for it. And I was like, I didn't fully get it. And I remember that. And I was like, I'm not sure. And then the more I listened to it, the more I was just like, it's just so fun. It's so good. And it's so fun.
You just keep missing the mark and expect me to stay. At least I was honest. So long, I wrote every song for you. I gave it all. I got nothing left to prove. You played it wrong and I stayed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have attachment to literally all of them and a love and hate for them because I've spent so many hours
Yeah, listening.
working on them.
On the
But, you know,
engineering
it's-
end, yeah.
It's cool. It's like at the end of the day, like it was rad. Like I said before, my parents were in town, and so like I played my mom some of the new songs that she hadn't heard, and she flipped. She loved them all. She was blown away. She really liked Sorry a lot.
Yeah.
And I think Sorry's so cool. And I said this to the guys maybe a couple weeks ago when we were finishing it up. I was like, it's kind of a neat flex that like Maddie can sing like that. And it's just one single lead vocal and it's like, sounds great. It's like really intimate. And then you have other songs that he could scream like a beast and it sounds wicked. It's
Yeah.
super cool. It's really wild.
It's a great variety of what you guys can do now.
I like to really test every range we have and see how far we can take it on every level. That's exciting to me. And I think we're going to test that out really shortly. Yeah. Kian, what songs have stuck? Like, give us a story on a song we haven't chatted about yet. Something I don't even know.
For me, like my favorite, honestly, just depends on the mood that I'm in. Lately, like Fall Apart's hit me pretty hard, but I would say like on the whole, like as an entire body of work, personally, what I am most proud of, I guess, would be Closer to the Grave, because that was very, very early on in our process in general. Jake and I were not in the same room. Ant and I were not in the same room. It was literally like that riff was, and I have a video of it on like my personal Instagram. Like that riff was just me trying to figure out guitar and try and make stuff that I could make and be productive for our songwriting process. I didn't have Jake there to record it in for me. I didn't have Jake there to help me with the idea and make it a better riff. And so to see it go from that to we almost cut it entirely from the record to being the second single, that we released. And then also like the response that we got from it playing it live was probably like my favorite response that we got, because once it flips from the punk beat into the halftime and the intro and the octaves come in, all that stuff, it just, everyone's just doing this, you know, and it just like, it feels good.
That literally is my favorite song live by
so for me, that
margin.
was just really, I don't know, rewarding, the whole process of it. And to know, you know, I guess it's a testament to like, you can be really shit at your instrument and still write something that that people connect to in a certain way, you know, like you don't have to be Beethoven to write a good song. And that's never been my goal anyway. I just want to write good songs. I don't care about being proficient at all. Like if I can write a good 3-chord power chord song, that's just as good for me as if I can sit down and, you know, write polyphia stuff.
Totally.
So it just, to me, that one like is special.
I have a good memory of that song. It was Jake's birthday 2 years ago, and this was literally like so when lockdown started, February 2020 was like the week I joined the band, and then we didn't get back together until his birthday, like 5 months later. And so that was the first time we had gotten together in 5 months of writing separately. So when we got there, I don't even think Closer to the Grave, like that riff was even on our radar of things to finish. It was like it was like buried in a folder. And so like
it didn't have a chorus.
It had nothing. It literally was just the riff with like a drum beat, but it had no structure. It had no anything other than the riff. So when I forget, I think we were drinking some scotch that night, and we were just kind of going deep on the scotch bottle, and it was great. And then we pulled out we were working on something else. Actually, I think we were working on a song that didn't make this record. And then we pulled out that riff, and we're like, dude, I was like, this is great. I love this riff. So I just started like doing my little vocal wizard over it, where I just do melody ideas and, you know, no lyrics and stuff. And it kind of inspired us to re-pick that up. And by the end of the night, we had an actual direction of the song. And then it immediately, in like the following weeks, became like a top 3 favorite. And it's been a top 3 favorite of mine ever since. Like that song is too much fun. Like by far my favorite song to play live.
Jake's lead breakdown riff is probably, I remember doing that one, like we did it yesterday. Like we were sitting in the little corner office downtown, and I don't even know where it came from, but we were trying to figure out the breakdown. And then and I'm like, yeah, that's probably it. And then I was like, okay, so for my part, I'm just gonna do dun 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 dun, and that was it. And we're like, that really like made the whole. That really made it.
Beethoven at work.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's a great example.
I'm a Renaissance man.
Keep it simple, and it works every time.
But again, that's exactly. It can be just effective to be simple. You know, I think as a musician, sometimes, at least for me, I'm speaking personally for myself, but there's times where I try to overcomplicate a song, and I go, no, and then I just say, screw this, and I'll just sit down. Like I listened to The Dangerous Summer. And one of their songs was like a couple years ago, and one of the songs it sounded like it was only like 3 chords, and I was just like, do something with 3 chords. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to blend every freaking note with this note and try and make this orchestrated thing, you know. And then I wrote the song that was like 3 chords long, and it was one of my most emotional solo songs for myself. And just like you hear punk bands nowadays, and you go, sometimes simplicity is okay.
I love it actually. Like,
again, everybody wants to try and be like A Day to Remember, and try to be like, you know, I don't know, another like super fast, you know, punk band with all these different chords and noises and stuff. And it's just like, no, why do you think everybody loves Blink? You know, a lot of stuff is so simple and it's effective. And
I mean, Jade Puget from AFI, like there's a video of him, I think like on Ernie Ball or something, and he talks about that. He was like, you know, like back when we were coming up, like it was like the metal crowd and the punk crowd, and the metal guys were doing all the shreddy stuff, and the punks were like, no, like that's not what we do here. Like we're going to be the opposite of that. And he's a very proficient guitar player, but even if you listen to like their stuff, like it's not shreddy,
no,
you know, for the sake of being shreddy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it's just I subscribe to that mentality a lot, where it's like, if you if you can writing a good song in many respects is as challenging, if not more challenging, than being a proficient player, I think.
No,
Because
Yeah.
like writing a pop song, as simple as they sound,
It's not
like it's one of the hardest things you could possibly
It's so hard.
do.
yeah. When
And
it's
it's
like
because it's so simple.
I spent too
Yeah.
many years like
Yeah.
it, and actually the reason why I'm so happy in Protect Your Heart as opposed to like other things I've done musically, not that I wasn't happy and challenged, but my perspective back then was like, will my peers be impressed by the thing that I'm writing? And it was never,
Yeah.
will I be proud of the song that I'm writing? It was always part A came first,
Yeah.
part B came later.
Yeah.
And in this band, and I think a large part of it is I took a couple of years off music in between. And also these guys just completely trusted me to write whatever I wanted and they were stoked on it. And didn't micromanage anything. They were just let me be who I was. I wrote just whatever I felt like because I really didn't give a shit if anyone thought it was impressive. I just wanted to write what I felt was fun. And
Yeah.
that was the whole point of this record, was to just have fun with it and not think about like, is this going to be palatable for radio? I don't care. Is this going to be, like, are people going to be impressed by the note choices that I made and the scales that I sang it? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all. Like, the only thing I care about is that I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And I just want to sing the parts that actually are true to me instead of writing what I think someone else might not hate, because
Yeah.
most of the people that I was trying to impress before didn't listen to my music anyway. So, like, what does it even matter? Like, I just would rather have a great time. And these three dudes supported that. And I think it actually made the product better.
Yeah. No, guys, it's so good. And I'm really excited for people to hear. This has been a long time coming. And even from our first talk, it's funny to kind of think about that now, our first chat, and then this one, it's like, it's finally come to fruition. And it was so freaking worth the wait. So it was like the biggest long tease ever.
I'm curious. I'm trying to remember. When was the first time that you had us on? Was it for was it after Don't Count Me Out, or was it after Closer to the Grave?
That would be closer, but
It was
still,
Closer to the Grave.
like,
Oh yeah, maybe it was Closer to the Grave. Okay.
total year and a
Oh,
half.
yeah,
ago.
it's been
a
a
long time.
it's been a ride.
That's nuts.
Yeah, well,
We appreciate it, by the way.
Dude,
yeah.
like we couldn't launch this whole next campaign without starting with Scotty. Like,
Yeah.
you're the one that we
Hey.
connected with like pretty much first, and we've stayed close ever since. And
Yeah.
like, and not only that, just like your passion for just being a fan of your friends' music and the way that you've built like the Indie Galaxy of Stars chat group and all those people that are like really close and supportive to each other. And just big shout out to all of them for being awesome and great
Oh, yeah.
bands. So it's a really special thing that you and us have been a part of in that whole group. So I want to highlight that, but just thankful that like we were able to kind of start the Protect Your Heart release, journey with you being a part of the like first, it's just because we've been such close homies ever since, and we pretty much talk weekly anyway.
True. Well, I appreciate your guys's, honestly, I appreciate your guys's support as well, and through the Indie Galaxy of the Stars, and just even online. I told you, when I was a fan, I'm a fan for life. So it's finally cool to see your hard work come up, and I'm so excited for people to hear this album and reintroduction. Right? Ooh.
Good Lord.
Yeah, reintroduction.
Sorry, I totally ruined that. Like, a pop-up comes on my screen and I click to exit, and then I click it instead, and then boom, it just reignites like a whole YouTube.
Matt's on Reddit again.
We were having a shared
Congratulations,
moment
you've
and you
won.
blew it up.
Yeah. I'm Publishers Clearinghouse winner.
Thank you, as always. Thank you for your time. I'm incredibly appreciative of it. But yeah, thank you guys. And please, if you got anything else you want to throw my way, but when this comes out or even after for the gigs and whatnot, just I'll be more than glad to promote it for you. So,
Bro, usually you've already shared it before I get around to sending it.
That's true. That's true. I'm an addict.
Before we get off, for anyone still listening, Scotty, let's plug in some spacing effect.
Hell yeah.
What's the latest?
Okay, so we have Plowed that came out a couple weeks ago, which I would see now. For me, Jake, that one was like low. I think I was like C, maybe a little lower than C. No, actually, I take it back. You know what happened was one day I was so like pissed off because I was tired of this song, and I'm like, I just went down. I'm like, I'm just gonna
Hell
treat it
yeah.
as what this is. And Aaron goes, so we recorded it. I recorded it, right? He goes, I need to play bass on this. What are you tuned to? I'm like, I don't know. You're just gonna have to listen to it.
Nah, sick.
I plowed into the sound.
So it could be C. It could be a little lower than C. I
What
don't know.
did you record it with that pink guitar?
No.
Drop Z.
What,
No,
what happened to that pink guitar?
I trashed that sucker, dude.
Come on, it's iconic.
Jake and Ant probably have no idea what we're talking about, but
No, they don't.
I'm not sure
I
about
can
the
assume.
pink guitar.
well, I think I got your email, so I could send you a picture, or you could. I could show
Scotty
you
Scotty
me
found
playing it.
his prime high school guitar days in the bedroom.
Oh, it was so bad. It was this little like Marshall amp, like this, like that big, and
I got one of those sitting
it
up
just
there.
took everything on high. What? Yeah, it's probably
Yeah, I got
decoration
one.
now.
They're great.
Gotta start somewhere.
That's what it was, though. I was like, "Oh yeah." I'll show you the video. It's so horrible.
Sick.
Remind
it.
me, you were shirtless as well, right?
Oh yeah, I was in shape.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can be sure.
Scotty off the
It's
shits.
it's a real sight to behold.
But again, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we did this. So I mean, despite being sick and whatever, I'm very glad to catch up with you guys too. And I'll talk to you later.
Awesome, man. Love you, buddy.
Man.